Hello everybody, my name is Al.Mahdi and today I'm gonna talk about Photoshop CS6. So let's get started by opening Photoshop. Okay, so today we are gonna create these basic shapes and we will learn how to create a layer style, how to create a different types of layers. Very simple stuff. So let's go ahead and create a new document by clicking file and new, and you can see this is the shortcut for it, Command N. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna keep it 500 width, and the content background content is white. I'm gonna change the name to lesson 1. I'm gonna click OK or return on the keyboard, and I will create the document. Now we have a background layer. It's actually this layer is actually the default layer for the background contents, while we select it as white from the new document dialog. So this background layer is actually uneditable because it's locked. So to unlock it, we simply double click it and click OK, then we will convert it to an regular layer, so we can move it right now, do whatever we want. So let's go ahead and create another new layer, empty new layer. Let's click this icon, which looks like a flipped paper, and we have now an empty layer. So I'm gonna draw something inside it. I will go ahead and click on the brush tool and draw some strokes. Now you see we only draw on this layer, we didn't affect the layer 0. So to prove that, I'm gonna hide this and it will only reveal the layer 0. So let's get this back. We can also reverse the order, and that will do something that I'm gonna explain right now. What does it do right now is actually anything in the top, it means that it's in the front on this place, and anything in the bottom means that it is in the back. So right now, if I change the order, it seems that we hid in the layer 1, but actually let's click on the move tool and move layer 0 a little bit to show or to reveal the layer 1. So let's go ahead and click Command C to undo, and I'm gonna just drag this layer and throw it to the trash pan. So now we have an idea how does it work. Now let's go ahead and create another type of layers. I'm gonna click on the ellipse tool over here. The shortcut for that is U on the keyboard, and I'm gonna hold shift and click and drag to create a spherical shape. Now this is the shape layer. A shape layer, what is the difference between a layer and the shape layer? Well, the shape layer is a dynamic layer, which means you can scale it and it will recalculate and draw again. And you can also double click on its icon and you can change the color of the shape. Now we have 2 layers. Let's also create the welcome text by clicking on the text tool or the type tool, and just click out here and type welcome. It doesn't show because it's white on white, so let's go ahead and just drag it over here. Now we have a welcome text, a layer text layer, sorry, and also a shape layer. So also this applies to the order applies to this too. So however, Now we have learned something about layers and layer orders, and there are different types of layers. And let's go ahead a little bit deeper and see what is common on layers. What makes layers have some relationship or something common in it. So in Photoshop there's something called a layer style, and that means that you can create a style, create a shadow for this text, and some style that you want to choose. So every layer over here can have those styles. So let me explain that more further by double clicking on the ellipse tool. I choose this layer because it's the biggest, I think. So let's go ahead. By double clicking here, the layer style will pop up, and you can, from here you can choose a drop shadow to create a shadow, and when you click on the drop shadow it will check this box and it will give you the options to edit the drop shadow. Now you can increase the size of the shadow, and maybe you have lower opacity, maybe you change the distance, and you can change the angle. But there's a check over here called use global light. What does that mean? So let me explain this further. I'm gonna click OK in this one, and I'm gonna double click on the layer, the text layer, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the same thing. I'm gonna go to drop box. I'm gonna have the distance a little bit further. So let's see, what does it mean? So let's go ahead and click OK. Now I will edit the shadow for the ellipse. Double clicking the ellipse will again pop the layer style dialog up. Now clicking the drop shadow, and while this is checked, I'm gonna change the angle, and you can see every shadow on this document changes the angle. What does it mean about using the global light? So I'm gonna uncheck it so I don't affect each light on the document. I'm just gonna change this one, so I'm gonna have the opacity a little bit, and maybe I'm gonna choose an inner shadow. I encourage you to play around with all of these styles and be creative on it. You can create amazing things to that. So what I mean about amazing things, if there's something called inner shadow, it should not be inner shadow. You can create things differently. You can cheat a little bit and make it a vignette instead by increasing the size, maybe changing the blending mode. We will talk about it later, but that will give you a different look, and it will create a vignetting instead. So now we have learned things like the different types of layers and the order that they come in, and the layer style, and this is about it. I think I hope you learned today a lot, that you can go ahead and open Photoshop and play around, create amazing stuff, and I really encourage you to start ahead and play around with Photoshop and experiment more about it. Now let's go ahead and minimize this. Now I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to learn more about Photoshop CS6 for beginners, please subscribe for this channel, and like if you like this video, and comment if you have any question, and I will be happy to respond. And see you then. My name is Al.Mahdi, and that was a tutorial for you.